everyone, welcome back to my channel. Denise here from Sewlimitless, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you about a dress that I made. It's Colette Patterns Moneta dress. It is, unfortunately this pattern is now discontinued, but you could actually probably find it online somewhere. This was a process that I went through in order to make this dress. It is a pattern for knit, so I wanted to share with you what I did and the results that I got, so stay tuned. The first dress from the pattern that I made, and I will put up some other pictures of course so that you can really get the full effect of what it looks like. This brown one here is the second one that I made. What I had to do in order to get this to work for me was I have a full bust adjustment. I lengthened the bodice by about 2 inches. I widened the bottom of the bodice about a ½ inch. See, I also had to widen the sleeve by about 1 inch. I redrafted the pockets, which made them just slightly bigger, and I added a neckband on the dress. So those were the changes that I made for this particular dress pattern. Now this is one of these patterns I've had for many years and had never used it, so I traced it. I ended up with was the extra large. I based that on the finished garment measurements because with the knit it has -E. So as a result, I think I got a really good result. I got a great fit. I'm very happy with the way the dress fits. I often find that with dresses that have a waist seam like this one does, and I can show you what I'm talking about. This seam here, I often find that that is up too high, so it hits me like in the middle of in my rib cage, and that is just very uncomfortable. So I tend to lower this. Now this one I did add at like 2 inches to the length on this. I probably could have done just 1 inch and it would have been fine, but still happy with how this turned out because it does fit very well front and back. So with lengthening that and that lowering the seam, now it's actually very comfortable. I don't feel like I'm being cut in half at all. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. As I said, I also had to widen the sleeves on this pattern. That is something that I've never had to do before. So I was kind of surprised that the sleeves were so tight. I don't know what was going on with that because I don't have big arms. I'm not like muscular or anything like that. So I had to slash and spread. I've never done an arm adjustment, so I had no clue how to do that. And for that, what I used was this book that I have here. Some of you may recognize this, Knits for Real People. This came out some years ago, but it's a great reference book. I can leave a link below if you are interested in checking this out. It's got a lot of information, and this is what I used to show me how to do that slash and spread technique for the sleeves. One thing I did notice, now this fabric I did buy at Joann's, and it is white underneath, so this is just printed on. But one thing I noticed when using a fabric like this is you don't want to do stitch and then have to take out and then restitch too many times, because you end up with like a sort of like a whitish line that shows through on the right side. If this was a different type of fabric, I think it wouldn't have done this. But so this fabric here, and actually this one as well, both of these are knit blend, maybe polyester blend knits. Both bought at Joann Fabrics recently. Both of these are, the fabrics are really soft. I'm really happy with how the dress turned out. I did almost give up because it was so much work to really get it to fit me. There was so many changes. I mean, have you ever done anything where you've changed it so much that you feel like you've just created your own new thing? Let me know. But yeah, I am really happy with the end result. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a process and it was a lot of work. I think I worked off and on it for maybe a couple of weeks. Once I got it the way that I wanted it though, it's very easy and quick to put together because it's really not that many pieces. It's the bodice, front and back, skirt, front and back, and the skirt has elastic in it. I think you're supposed to do it in one piece for the gathering. I split it actually into two pieces, and that made it easier. So basically one piece on the front and one piece on the back. That way it was just easier for me personally to control, so the gathers would look more even, because otherwise it was dealing with a really long piece of elastic. I think was a bit too much, so I actually cut it, and I did that for both of these, and that seemed to work out really well. But yeah, like I said, I also added this neckband because I think that just gives it a more finished look. Now there is a different collar, and there are some other alternatives. There's a sleeveless version with a collar, and then you have a short sleeve and the 3/4 sleeve. It's not actually a long sleeve dress. There's not actually a long sleeve version, I don't believe. The longest, this is the actually the longest sleeve is a 3/4 sleeve. So yeah, if you actually do have this pattern, I think it's worth it. I did read some reviews after I did have so much trouble, and people loved it. So, I mean, then they've made 5, 6 of them. I can definitely see making this again. And I mean, imagine something like this in like a stretch velvet would be really pretty, especially with holidays coming up, whatever. Don't find a lot of knit dress patterns that are styled like this, where it's just more of a basic type of a style, and it's more of a classic style. I don't see a lot of patterns like that, and so that was also the reason that, since I already had the pattern, and I've had it for years, like I said, that I really wanted to go ahead and get it to work. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. You can also hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any uploads or anything like that. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.